Hey, what's up, guys? Here on the Fire Sports Pod, where everything we got is hot. I'm your host, Zach Jackson, here with my co host, Irv. We're back at it again with season 6, episode number 8, here on this Wednesday afternoon, powered by StreamYard, where StreamYard makes the dream yard go. Let's get right into it. I know I said we were going to have Danny Wexler here. Lawrence didn't go off, couldn't get on. We're hoping to get her after the holidays, so we'll get her spin on a couple things when it comes to the baseball world. So again, I apologize to Danny if we gave her any inconvenience at all today, but we still got to roll with the show no matter what happens. We're back at it. We're going to be going over a couple things, some thing from the MLB world, some for the NBA world. First up, we're going to start with the NBA Cup last night. Was a crazy ass experience. So we'll be going over that. Our second segment, we'll be going over the All Star game and what new changes and new rules that they put in place. So we'll see if we like it, if we don't like it. And then finally, it's been a Yankee heavy podcast for the last couple ones. But we're going to end with another one as we're going to go over the grades for each of the trades and moves that we made so far in the offseason. We just added Cody Bellinger last night, which is a massive move. We'll go over what ESPN gives the grades, and we'll give our own grades for this. But for right now, guys, let's get right into the NBA Cup, where we had Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard take down the number one seeded OKC Thunder, 98-81. It was a pretty
97-81. Yeah.
97-81. It was a pretty big of a shit show for the OKC Thunder. They really could not get anything going offensively. Their shooting numbers were just atrocious. I just really think that they definitely. It seemed like they didn't practice. It seemed like they didn't even shoot the ball or anything while they were in Vegas. It seemed like they were partying all the time because they couldn't hit anything
No.
anything at all. I mean, Shea shot 8 of 24, had a calm 21. Their so-called best scorer overall field goal percentage was Hartenstein. He had 16 and 12. That's just not going to win you games. And when you got Damian Lillard taking a sidestep three, fade away to the corner over the backboard, and he's swishing it, you're probably going to lose that game. And Giannis, as dominant as he has been over this year, is just sheer force enforcer down low. Now he's pulling out Dirk fades, the one-legged Dirk fade. I don't know what the hell's happening. But yeah, I mean, best of luck for the Bucks. Then the rest of the season, they deserved it. They played well enough. I was cool that I heard Giannis in the press conference at the end. He was like, he was given this. He said at the beginning of the first game to one of the players that really don't play. They really are like making like couple $1,000 there, and he's like, all right, we're gonna win this cup so you guys can get extra money so you can buy a house, which was pretty cool. Giannis is a team player, man. He's a family guy. He seems like a cool dude. I just think that the Bucks just caught OKC at the wrong time. I just think OKC just was not clicking on all cylinders. They have the best record in the West. They're really right behind Cleveland. Cleveland's 22-4. I believe now they're 20. OKC is 20-5. So I definitely believe that OKC is still one of the best teams, no matter this loss or not. It's just one game. But I think OKC has some deficiencies. When they can't shoot the ball, there's really no other offense they can get. And that's going to be a really problem. Like we were talking with Thomas Franklin on last Friday when it comes to the three ball. If you live and die with the three ball, you're gonna have some high games, high hope games, and you're gonna have some lows. And this game was a very big low for them. They just were off, and I think if the Bucks get them another time, I think it's a different situation. At the same time, they're also missing Chet Holmgren. I know they've been still one of the best teams in the league, even without Chet. But just imagine Chet was on that team. It's another shooter, another big presence in the paint. I think that does well against Giannis and the Bucks. But yeah, I just really think that the NBA Cup I think is cool. I think it's great. You could see that when they're in the NBA Cup, it's like for real. Like people are trying to win. The problem's been with the regular season nowadays with the NBA. Everyone's like, we'll have 145 points, no defense. We'll have some guy scoring 70. But these games were relatively close in the NBA Cup. There really wasn't any blowouts. So the NBA did very good with implementing this NBA Cup last year. I think last year was awesome. I think this year was good. I think last year was a little bit better. But the views, man, the views have been down for the NBA. And that's because the two greats of LeBron James, Kevin Durant, the three greats, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, weren't in the final thing. They were bounced out early. I think that without those three, there has not been an answer yet that the NBA has given to basically like we've been saying, all right, the torch has been handed to Anthony Edwards, whatever, but no one's taking it, like really taking it. Like LeBron took the NBA by storm. Steph took the NBA. Kevin Durant took the NBA. The three-headed monsters. No one is taking the NBA for them. Jokic is one of the best players in the league. He doesn't like the spotlight. Victor Wembanyama is a great talent. He's one of the best in the league, but he doesn't like the spotlight. Anthony Edwards is good, but he's not this like iconic dude. You know what I mean? There hasn't been an answer, and the views are showing it. They've dropped to like 28% this year, which has been ridiculous. Down from a couple years ago, which was at 48%. So there's definitely a shift with the viewership. There was more the NBA Cup. Literally, there was no buzz around it. I mean, Irv, can you tell me, was there any like real buzz around Giannis versus Shea, or like last year LeBron versus Kevin Durant to go to the championship, or LeBron versus Indiana, but there was still the key guy, LeBron. Then there was Kevin Durant. Like the big names were still in there. This time, like LeBron and KD got bounced early, and then Steph Curry lost in a shit way to the Rockets, which they should have won that game, or at least had a chance to play defense on the last possession instead of giving free throws. So I would say that if Steph Curry was in this, let's say it was Warriors versus Giannis, Warriors versus Bucks instead of OKC versus Bucks. Not saying OKC's a bad team or whatever, just the viewership. I believe the viewership would have been crazy because then you have Steph Curry, first time he'll be winning an NBA Cup. Last year you had LeBron, first time ever, the first time a player has won the NBA Cup or team. So I think that those two, they were born in the same hospital, blah, 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 blah. They basically came in been the focus of the NBA for the last decade or so. And if they both were fighting to get to the championship and Steph or LeBron wins and they get into it, I think the viewership would have been up. But again, both of the teams didn't play well enough to win. And that's what it is. But I think the viewership is a big change, and we really have to find an answer for when LeBron finally hangs up the jersey, which I don't know when it is, but it's definitely sooner rather than later. And then when Steph Curry, I think Steph Curry might end up leaving the NBA actually earlier than LeBron, because of the fact of the matter is he relies so much on the three, and his legs are just going to go faster than LeBron James and Kevin Durant, because they're just 6'9". Kevin Durant's almost 7 feet. There's a difference. So when all three of those guys retire, who the hell is going to take the NBA? Right now, I don't have an answer. You could say Anthony Edwards, but nah, not really. You could say John Morant. That's if he stays out of trouble. You could say Shea. He's a quiet guy. You could say, like I said, Victor, Jokic. They're all quiet dudes. You could say Luka. He's not a talkative guy. He's a very quiet guy. You can't say Kyrie. He's too old anymore. There's not really a bona fide. No, you could say Jason Tatum, but like there's not a talk about Jason Tatum everywhere. What's the talk? Or Steph Curry, LeBron James, Kevin Durant. I hear that every time on First Take or any sports thing. There's always something about LeBron. It's always something about Steph, and it's always something about Kevin Durant. It's a rarity that it's multiple times per the day that we talk about Giannis, or we talk about Luka, or we talk about Anthony Edwards, unless they're playing like shit. Other than that, that's it. There's no highs, there's no lows. It goes under the radar. So I really think the NBA Cup this year for the finals was very just no buzz. There was no talk around it. It was like, oh my God, it's Giannis for Shea. It's Bucks versus OKC for the NBA Cup. It wasn't that big of a deal. Like last year, I had like notification after notification. Lakers get the number one, be the first team to ever win the cup, or could Indiana like upset them with Halliburton, Miles? Like, you know what I mean? Like there was a different buzz around it last year, or the first time of it last year than this year. But I'll go to you and let me know what you think about that.
For me, I definitely saw, like, especially on Instagram and Twitter, like just a bunch of posts about the MVP battle. Now, if you really think about it, this was an MVP battle between Shea and Giannis because they're in the top three contention right now for MVPs. They're top three. But for me, I think it was more of just a letdown because the way that OKC just performed, I think that's why the NBA Cup didn't really live to its hype. Like when you would watch it, right? Like I would get ESPN notifications and I would say, "Oh, look, the Thunder are up by one in the first quarter. Oh, look, the Bucks now caught up and now they're up by one in the second quarter." So it was a back and forth battle until like the second half where OKC was just doing terrible. They were not shooting the ball well. Shea was not performing well, despite having 21 points, which is sometimes that's a career average for some people in the NBA. But for Shea, that was an off night. So um, I feel like for me it was buzz. I just think the reason why there wasn't any was because of the type of location that they were in. Now, when you really think about it, Vegas, it's not necessarily populated with NBA fans. In that stadium, it's 100% populated by NBA executives, people who are millionaires, and just it's not as it's not as exciting as it is in the playoffs. And I think the league wants it to be like that. Some changes that I would do for the NBA Cup would probably be do how it is in the playoffs. Like the number one seed, they play at home and they continue playing home, and just to have that playoff atmosphere. Because I'm telling you right now, when it was like the Rockets and Warriors, I felt that atmosphere, and I was just watching, and people though. It was a sold out arena. Everyone was watching. So was um which other one? So was the Bucks in Orlando. Like although their both star players were hurt, the Bucks and Orlando game was still hyped and it was treated like as if it was a playoff game. So, do I really think that there wasn't enough buzz because the big three wasn't there? I don't think so because there was still buzz because these two were the top MVPs and they were going to display their talents on the NBA Cup. So people were expecting a good show. Now Shea performing terribly and Giannis outperforming him definitely brought buzz around that. Maybe OKC had a rough night. Maybe OKC didn't really care much about the NBA Cup. Maybe Shea didn't care much about the NBA Cup. But when you really look at the game and how it really went down, it was just shots that were made and shots that weren't going in. So for me, I 100% think the hype was there because Giannis is a spectacular player. Shea is a spectacular player. OKC itself, very good offensive and defensive team. Alongside with the Bucks, who are a very good offensive team, their defense was. I mean, their defense got stops this game. This game, they definitely got stops. Now they increased their streak. I believe it's 8-2, either 8-2 or 9-2. I'm not quite sure. Like what's their record so far the past like 10 games, but it's around that margin and they just been performing good. I think now the real question would probably be, is Milwaukee back? Is the hype back after this NBA Cup? So well, that's another segment for another time, but definitely for me, I think there was enough buzz. I just think that the hype kind of died down after they saw the performance by the second ranked or third ranked MVP in Shea Gilgeous Alexander.
Okay. Well, like I said, I agree with you on some points and I disagree on some others, but that's why it's a podcast. We're supposed to debate. We're supposed to disagree. So we're gonna move on to our second segment where we'll be going over the NBA All-Star. Now there has been a change in some rules and some changes. In general, guys, I just think the All-Star game sucks. Because the fact of the matter is that there's nobody playing for real. And I think that that has been the problem. For a really long time. I would say the last time it was quote unquote really good would I would say 2020, right before COVID. And that was really like the big time. Like it was pretty great to see. It was like LeBron and Giannis, both of them. Everybody was there. Quavo was there. I think it was in Atlanta. It was awesome. And they really played hard in that game. But since then, man, there's really hasn't been one. I mean, you had the one where Steph Curry was just balling 2021, I believe, or 2022 when he won the MVP.
That was 23, I think. I think that was the same year he won the chip
No, 22.
in 22. Oh, there was the silver ones, right? The silver jerseys.
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh yeah, it was
And
probably
that
yeah.
was the red. No, it was in Cleveland. It was when LeBron hit that fader on Levine. And then
Okay,
Steph Curry
okay.
pulled up from like maybe that was the silver. I don't know, I forgot. But it was a great game there. But still there's so many points, but there's no defense. There's nobody really trying until like the end. Like the end, the last 10 points, all right, they're gonna really try. Like that's not the point. And Kevin Durant said it like I hate it. I hate the new format. We'll get to the format in a second. But I think Kevin Durant is just flat out just dumb. I really think that he just doesn't understand like the way it was, no matter if it's East or West or vice captain, it doesn't matter. Like
Hmm.
all due respect to Kevin Durant, love him to death, but like, come on, bro. Like you can't, you got to see that. Like it is not like this competitive game. It's supposed to be a game of the best playing the best of the best. It's like the Pro Bowl in the NFL. That shit sucks.
Hmm.
Now they turned into flag football. Why? Because no one was playing hard. They actually play harder in flag football than they do when they had pads on.
Yeah.
It's just stupid. I think the best hockey, the best All-Star game would be the MLB, because they actually play, or the NHL. I would say those two weekends are great. You got the home run derby, you have the skills challenge for hockey. Both of those All-Star weekends are fantastic. The NBA and the NFL suck. I mean, the skills ones, that's pretty cool for the NFL, but the dunk contest sucks now for the NBA. The three-point
Yeah.
contest is the only thing that draws people in. And the NBA in general, the only reason why people are coming to those things is because they want to see the players. They're
Hmm.
not going there for the game. They're going there just to get an autograph or some shit or see their favorite player play. That's all it is. So I think it's a bunch of bull. Now this is the new format. The NBA All-Star Game is going to be an All-Star tournament this season, with the leagues announcing Tuesday that it's finalized plans to use different format for the upcoming midseason showcase in San Francisco. And
Hmm.
scoring is sure to be down, way down. The season's format is a 4-team, 3-game, 1-night tournament featuring 3 teams of 8 All-Stars each, with the fourth team being the winner of the Rising Stars Challenge for the first and second year players. I like that. The winning team is in all games will be the first to score 40 points.
Hmm.
That I don't understand. 40, that's too easy.
I mean, I think yeah, it is easy, but at the same time, I think all those teams are gonna verse each other. So if you score, 40 points, it's gonna cut enough time and also have enough time for to verse, other teams as well.
Okay, I get it like that. Now, it happened February 16th at home with the Golden State Warriors. The Rising Stars event is February 14th, headlining All-Star Friday. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver has wanted a more competitive All-Star event for some time, and the changes come after the teams combined to score a record 397 points last year. 211 to 186 was the final in
Hmm.
last season's game in Indianapolis. The teams combined to take 289 shots in that game, 94% of those being either inside the paint or beyond the three-point line. Obviously, with the elephant in the room being us competing, them trying to shake things up and expect it and make sense, said Oklahoma City guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. likely all-star selection this season for the third time. At the end of the day, it's going to go down to whether the players want to go at it, and I would love to see that. Love to be a part of it for sure, and hopefully it happens. There has been an all-star format shakeups in recent years after the first 66 all-star games, which were played traditional Eastern versus Western, with 4 quarters of 12 minutes each. The league switched to a new format in which leading vote getters from each conference served as captains and drafted their teams. LeBron James served as one, Giannis served as one, Kevin Durant and Steph Curry served as one. In
Mm.
4 of the captains' picks all the years, like I said, I think that's going to be better. I would say a 4-team, 3-tournament thing, the Rising Stars thing, we keep the dunk contest. But the problem with it is I think a lot of the problems was that the dunk contest drove in so much people because we saw Aaron Gordon one time, Derek Jones Jr., we saw Zach LaVine. That was the greatness of the dunk contest. Now we're
Yeah,
seeing guys like, no offense, Jalen Green's great, but he came into the dunk contest way too early. He was a rookie or like a second-year guy. Like he came way too early. We need to see the Zions of the world, the John Morants of the world, but they don't want to do it. You know why? Because it takes a lot, and you could get injured. And if you do, then you screw up your team's future. And most
exactly.
people that do the dunk contest really don't last that long. So I would say that it is really a definite problem we have with the dunk contest. But the 3-point contest, I think, is fantastic. And the fact that we're going to might be bringing in Sabrina Ionescu again, maybe Caitlin Clark. We'll see what
Yeah,
happens.
that's the new format that they're gonna have
I think it's
Caitlin Clark
great.
with they're gonna have Caitlin Clark with Clay Thompson and then UNESCO with Curry.
I
Yeah.
think that's fantastic. I think that goes wonders for the NBA. I think that would be fantastic to see.
Mm-hmm.
So um, I would say that truthfully, I think the All Star game is going to be a little bit All Star weekend, and the All Star game is going to be a little bit better this year. I'm hoping. So we'll see what happens. I understand what Kevin Durant's going at, but dude, if we look at the history of the All Star games ever since the 2010s have been coming along, it's just gotten shittier, and shittier, and it just keeps getting worse and worse. I mean, we had 397 combined points last year. That's ridiculous. A team scored 211. That's fucking retarded. Like that's ridiculous. That's way, way, way too much. Way too much.
Yeah.
So I think that we got to hold a halt on that. But I think the All Star game will be fine. I don't think there will be a big problem. But
There's also other things here for the All Star game that they're gonna have they're gonna have a prize pool of $1.8 million. So for the championship team, they're gonna have 125K per person. For second place, it's gonna be 50K per person, and then for third and fourth, it's gonna be 25K per player as well. And then also they have the managers and the coaches. They have the TNT crew with Chuck, Shaq, and Kenny that they will coach the NBA All Stars, and then they have Candace Parker who will be a GM for the Rising Star Champions. And then each of these head coaches and assistant. Oh, and each head. Oh, my fault. The head coaches and assistant coaches of the best team in East and West will be the one coaching the 4 teams. So they're just GMs basically. So they're going to be drafting, I guess, whoever they want to draft, the best player for their team, um and then the head coaches of the best teams, the 4 best teams in the East and the West, they're going to be a part of it as well. I
okay,
think that's pretty
well,
cool.
that's pretty cool. I didn't know that information, so appreciate that. I think I don't know, man. I think the All Star game should be fine. I hope it is. I hope it is good. Um,
Yeah.
I hope it is good. So we'll see. We'll see in general, but
Mhm.
I do believe that I think Kevin Durant's just got to let it go. And like he said yesterday, he said that, oh well, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But for right now, I wish it was it stayed as East and West. And it is what it is. We'll see. But
Yeah, definitely Kevin Durant's his opinion is strongly taken because I think on especially on Twitter he has a humongous fan base. And I don't know, I just feel like he's thinking about it. he's thinking about it more for player durability because for All Star game, like you're when you think about the All Star game, you're just thinking about pure entertainment. You're not thinking about a game that actually counts, a game that actually matters. You know what I mean? It's just about pure entertainment, and I think that Kevin Durant he wants to go out there and have fun and just joke around, maybe take some shots that he doesn't take in a normal NBA game, or do basically like do shit that he doesn't do on a regular NBA season. So I think his opinion is based on that, and now that he has to compete in a game that doesn't even like matter, I don't know, for him, I think that's why he has a strong opinion about it.
Yeah, I get that. So we're gonna go to our third and final segment. Let's get right into that. Now this is all about going over the trade grades for each of our big time teams. So we'll be going over the Yankees and what our trade grades for each of our accusations. So we're gonna start with our first guy, and that's gonna be Max Fried, where we got him big time deal, right? Literally a couple days after we declined to give more money to Juan Soto. And I think that to me, it just shows that we weren't ready to bring him in and give him all that monster deal, which to be honest, I think it's not worth it at all. So if you look at his stats, Max Fried, he's a little on the older side, but the man is not that bad. He's actually really good. And in general, he has a combined ERA of a 3.07 for his career. Um, he has 108 strikes, 863 strikes, I would say. Um, 246 walks, 884 innings pitched, 783 hits, 332 runs, and 302 errors. So in general, I think Max Fried has have a massive career. Again, though, he is on the older side, so that's something we have to watch out. We did pay him a big time money and big time contract, so I would say that he's definitely going to be somebody we got to watch. But I like that we're trying to win now. That's what we're looking for. We're trying to win now because we understand Aaron Judge getting a little older. All our guys, we have some youth, we have some older guys, but in general, the fact of the matter is that we're trying to win now. And Juan Soto would have just been too much money, and we wouldn't have ever been able to pick up all those guys. So I think Max Fried was a great. I would give Max Fried probably about a B plus, just because of his age, and we don't know how well he's going to pitch.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I think picking up Max Fried was definitely a huge plus for you guys. And then just picking up more players in general as well. But definitely picking up Max Fried was a huge plus for you guys, especially for the pitching side. Um, yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
and our second guy is Devin Williams, a bona fide closer, very good pitcher. In general, 2024, he had a 1.83 ERA. So this guy is a beast. He's doing really good. He's had only 112 walks. He's had 375 strikes. And he's only given up 129 hits, 63 runs, 48 earned. He's a bona fide star. Again, a lot of people have been saying that the Mets broke him in that series against the Brewers. I
Yeah.
would have to differ. I think he's fine. I think he had a bad just a bad game, a bad closeout against the Mets, and he let up those runs, and that really kept the Mets in it, and they eventually won that game. But I think he's a great closer. We need him with the departure of Clay Holmes going actually to the Mets. Um, we have and a good riddance. I hate that guy, so I'm cool with that. We picked up a bona fide closer, and I am thrilled. I would pick this as an A, just because, again, we don't know how consistent he's going to be after the onslaught he had against the Mets during the Brewers playoff series this postseason. So I would say definitely um, Devin Williams will become a fan favorite in the clubhouse. But I think this gives us an A. Remember, this is my grades, guys. This is not the professional. So we gave a B plus to Max Fried. I give an A to Devin Williams. I just think we needed a closer, and I think this guy's the guy.
Yeah, I'm also agree with that. I mean, I think he had a fantastic time there at the Brewers. I don't know. I feel like the Yankees are now they're improving their pitching. They're improving uh I guess their defense in a way because picking up Devin Williams I think was a huge plus for them for the pitching side. So an A I think is a solid grade. I agree with that.
All right, and then finally, guys, last night we picked up a gem. Again, he is a little on the older side, but at the same time, man, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Cody Bellinger to the New York Yankees. The three giants, Stanton, Cody, and Judge, both in the same lineup. They both shared the All-Star game at Home Run Derby together a couple years back when my Stanton was still on the Marlins. Cody was on the Dodgers, but still, man, this is a monster move. I think this was great. This is the star we needed. And career postseason, man, he's had 29 runs, 51 hits, 9 home runs, 33 RBIs, 14 stolen bases, an average of 211, an OPS of 661. I mean, he's gone down a little bit in his percentages in his postseason, but in 2024 regular season, he had 72 runs, 137 hits, 18 home runs, 78 RBIs, 9 stolen bases, average of 266, an on base percentage of 751. That's fantastic. Career regular season, um, he's had 601 runs, 942 hits. He's had 196 home runs, 597 RBIs, 91 stolen bases, an average of 259 for his career, an OPB of 334, and an OPS of 818. So I think this is a great move for the Yankees. I think he would open up. He's not just a home run hitter. I mean, he goes for it a lot, but again, he's not just that guy. So I think this will be a great matchup so far. So I think Cody Bellinger is going to work pretty handily. I know the whole thing about his wife is the ex girlfriend of Stanton. I don't think that's going to have a problem. That was years ago. They're grown ups. They're professionals. I don't think there's going to be a problem. I think they'll mend their ways and everything will go smoothly. So I'll give this. I'm sorry, people say B minus, B plus. I'm giving this an A plus. I'm going A plus. I'm going out on a limb here, A plus. I think the Yankees have done their due diligence so far on the offseason, and I think this is what we needed. As a team that has been struggling to really get certain guys in the field, so I think this is a massive move. So I would definitely say that this is a big move, and I think this would do wonders for the Yankees in general going forward. But other than that, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna have Irv close it out, and then we'll be it.
Yeah, I mean, just picking up, obviously losing, Juan Soto, you're missing that extra bat. I mean, even with Judge there, staying there. But I think this is a great pickup for the Yankees, especially. I think picking up this guy, although he is on the a little bit on the older side, as you can see, the numbers do not lie. He is certified hitter. He is a great batter for the Yankees, and I think they're going to utilize him as a strong weapon. So you know can't really complain about this. I'll probably not maybe not give this an A plus. I'll probably give this maybe an A only because age will does play a factor. Maybe for him not as much, but you can't really deny. Hopefully he can run the steals the bases as he did in the postseason and the regular season last year, having only 9 stolen bases. Maybe that number goes up, maybe that number goes down. We don't know. But I'm giving this an A. I think this is a really good pickup for the Yankees.
All right, so we're just a difference of a plus and a no plus. So that's not bad. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for the show here on the Fire Sports Pod, where everything we got is hot. I'm your host, Zach Jackson. Here with me is my co-host, Irv. Back at it again. Again, this, guys, was Season 6, Episode number 8 here on the Fire Sports Pod, powered by StreamYard, where StreamYard makes a DreamYard go. I appreciate all the support. Again, guys, we will definitely, at 2 o'clock, be having, on Friday, my professor, David Kaplan. So he'll be on, and we'll get to that show out probably around 4 or 5 o'clock. That show will be posted and ready to roll. Again, guys, I will catch you guys on Friday. And we'll be shouting out my brother. He's turning 14 on December 20th on Friday, so that's his birthday. So we'll be shouting him out on the podcast. So happy pre-birthday to my brother Logan. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. And I will catch you guys on Friday. Peace out.